Something that we're making the time for today is Republic Commando. I did the buried treasure for it. It's one of the Xbox One's backwards compatibility titles. It was an original Xbox game. I think like 2003, 2004. This was a game, I think we did a really cool segment on this with Jade Raymond, if memory serves me correctly, where we had Republic Commandos cruising around San Francisco. I remember working with LucasArts on awesome things like that. We posted a classic piece that we did on Battlefront 1 with Jeff Keighley today, so make sure you watch that if you haven't seen that in a while. But let's play a little bit of Star Wars Galactic Commando, and this is Let's Play in Chat. So, hello Blake. So just let us know if you've got any comments or questions or feedback or Star Wars stories or anything you want to share with us today. And let's get into a little Star Wars Galactic Commando and try to remember how to play this game.
Let me know if the audio is too loud.
Okay, so I am now rappelling into a battlefield, and
yeah. So what is the backstory of this game? Because I never played it.
It was an Unreal Engine game set in the sort of, I think it came out between episode 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken. So it's set during the period of the prequels. And of course, we started to learn about the clones as warriors, and so this kind of gave you a sense to kind of sympathize with these as characters as they go and fight battle droids and insects and things like that. But it also picked up on the success of the Rainbow Six games that Ubisoft and Red Storm had created, and it was, you know, a tactical shooter where you had a bunch of allies with you. You're a 4-man squad, and each of the characters has different abilities and stuff like that. So I can't remember any of the controls. It's been forever since I played this.
Well, they got to be pretty standard shooter controls, right?
Yeah, but then there's a whole bunch of mechanics of sending your team into battle and stuff.
Right.
Okay, so I'm trying to use back to heal.
So, some of the people in the chat are asking what happened to Kratos. I moved him because there's not enough room on this table for 2 people and that Kratos because it's so big.
We're gonna get Kratos his own show.
Yeah, like he'd be right here covering my face.
Yeah, we'll just get him on his own sort of God of War set.
Give him his own show. Yeah. Well, I would watch a talk show hosted by Kratos.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
So, boy, you have a new movie coming out. What's that about?
To him, everybody would be a boy, too. Okay, so I don't know how to use back to the heal. I guess I should look at the controls. Can I see that? Options.
Some people are asking
options.
Some people are asking when this became available on the backward compatibility.
Very recently, like in the last couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure.
Does this have any of the enhancements? Because I know some of them have like HDR support.
I can't tell you on this television, but I do think it had some enhancements. On my 4K TV at home, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Oh, here's the back tank.
Because this looks really good.
I think it is improved.
Yeah.
I was super impressed by SSX and by Panzer Dragoon Orta. Couldn't believe it. Okay, so we're in the training mode now. So I've switched to the pistol because I'm out of ammunition. Okay, you must pick up ammunition. Okay. Okay, cool. Battle droids.
We had a good comment from Attention Gaming Disorder saying how you asked what games ought to be ported to the Switch, and he said Fez would be a good game on the Switch.
Fez, yes.
Fez would be great. Pretty much any side-scrolling platformer game would be awesome on the Switch.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with kind of old school games, and I'm really curious to find out what Nintendo's going to do with their back catalog. You know, because they still haven't announced what their subscription-based internet service is going to provide. You know?
Ooh, Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing that I thought of right away with, especially when they're doing ports, and I'll talk about this more in my review, but there was a perfect opportunity for Nintendo to provide like the full Donkey Kong Country collection as part of the game. So all the Super Nintendo games, even the first Wii game, right? Like the Donkey Kong Country celebration.
Yeah, but then it would be a bigger thing, and I could see why they wouldn't do that, though.
Well, I mean, they're not doing that because they can sell them all to us again, but...
Could you imagine if Nintendo's subscription platform had every Nintendo game on it?
Yeah.
I would pay. How much would you pay for that a month?
$15 a month.
I'd pay more than that.
You'd pay more than that?
Well, for if it had every Nintendo game, every first-party Nintendo game from every platform, that's some of the best games ever made.
Yeah,
that would be
for
awesome.
sure. Yeah. Well, don't tell them that because they're gonna say, "Well, we could we'll charge more." Than
I would
that.
pay $30 a month.
What? That's so
all-
much
for
money.
every one of those.
Have you seen Netflix?
Have you seen how awesome those Nintendo games
Yes,
are, though?
but like $8 a month, man. Like everybody's gonna come out with a streaming thing, and I think
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, because Netflix is only like $10 a month. or
Yes.
something. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think $15 a month should be the standard for all of these gaming streaming services, which are inevitable and likely to be announced in some pretty big ways.
The thing is, though, it has to work when you're not online.
I'm at
You
full
need
health.
to be able
Yes.
to download the games locally and play them even when the internet is turned off.
Guys, I'm playing Republic Commando. I can't believe it.
Somebody, I think it's Attention Gaming Disorder, has asked why I hate Rogue One. Please explain. I don't know. Do you think I should, Vic? How much time do we
no,
have?
today is a day of celebration.
How much
Today-
time? How much time do
Today
we
is
have?
not a day to complain about
Yeah.
The Last Jedi and Rogue One.
Yeah, and it's Friday afternoon. I don't think I have enough time or patience to explain all the problems I have with Rogue One. But basically, the short of it is the same problems that pretty much everyone else has with that movie.
People love that movie, Blake.
I don't have any hot takes or special opinions that are unique.
Well,
I just don't like it.
All right, here we go.
Jordan Cunningham has a comment. I wish Nintendo would do an HD remaster of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
that'd
for
be
the
cool,
Switch.
yes.
They've remade that game, though, haven't they? Wasn't that like one of the 3DS games was a remake of that?
Yeah, and the 3DS had some great stuff, but it's certainly feeling way more dated now, man. Especially when you're comparing it directly to the Switch.
Somebody says, Vic, your aim is a little off,
Yeah,
but you're a stormtrooper, so your aim should be a little
I'm a
off.
clone trooper.
Well, it's the same thing. Oh, no, wait. Are the stormtroopers are they clones or are they people? They're people now because they sort of retconned it, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Got
Yeah.
some thermal detonators, and I'm gonna heal. I'm at full health. How do I switch my weapons? Low light mode. See that they have all of these cool vision things that they totally lifted from. How come I can't get my?
Use the
There it
force.
is. There it is.
Just use the
That's what I
force,
wanted.
Vic.
Got you. Now let's take this thing out. There it is. Bye-bye. Into the bunker.
Sam Hain 111 says,
Nice.
I'm still very upset about the Saints Row DS game that was canceled. I would love a Saints
How do
Row
I
game on the
switch?
Switch. Yeah, they could port the last one. Because they did a next-gen, like current-gen port of the last Saints Row game, didn't they?
The last Ezio game?
No, the Saints Row game.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they did. Saints
Yeah.
Row,
So they could probably port that easily to the Switch.
Totally.
That would work well, too.
That would be great, yeah. Those games would be a lot of fun.
The problem is, though, when you think of portable games, playing them in public might be a bit embarrassing if they're more violent. You know, like if you're playing a game that has a lot of swearing or
You
sex
think?
stuff. Yeah, if you're sitting
Okay,
in,
here's
say
my buddy.
you're sitting in an airplane seat next to a little kid.
There's Scorch. Okay, cool. Starting to come back to me. Now, Scorch has all kinds of abilities. I keep just throwing thermal detonators like they're candy. Okay. Point at the blue. There we go. Oh, it's very easy. Most of it's just the A button. Okay, go do that.
Blade Blur is asking if the game is native to widescreen. We
I
didn't
think
do
it
any.
is, yeah.
It must be because we didn't do any special setup.
It came pretty late in the original Xbox lifespan, as far as I can remember.
Unless that's an enhancement for the Xbox One X.
No,
I don't know.
they didn't do too much of that.
Yeah, because I didn't change any settings when we set it up earlier, so yeah, it was just
Super
it just
cool,
looked like
man.
this, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely blocky and chunky, but
It
here
looks
we are
good.
in Star Wars
this,
land.
This holds up. I don't mind the way this looks.
Yeah,
I mean, for a game for 2005, this was excellent.
I freaking love. Is that when it was 2005?
Or 2004, 2005, something
Yeah.
like that.
I freaking love the Xbox kind of mission statement, and I think you ran something on that not too long ago on
on the rundown. Yeah.
The
Phil Spencer at E3
yeah,
last
Phil Spencer's
year,
comment, like how important it is, just like books and movies and all that stuff. It's so important, and us being able to dive back into these classic games, like look how much we can enjoy them, but also learn from them. You know.
And they're an important piece of. Not only are they fun to play, but they're an important piece of culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and there's nothing current that's like this in the Star Wars universe that we can play, which is amazing, right? Like the closest to this is Battlefront 2, which is getting better and better.
How many loot boxes are in this game, Vic?
No loot boxes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no old movie that I can't watch on Blu-ray or other modern formats. So why aren't games the same thing?
I love it.
Leafs fan has a question for you, Vic.
Yes.
Have you finalized your plans for E3 coverage? Are you going in person or doing live streams from the studio?
We are doing both. Blake and I are going to go down there and work with Jose to cover stuff on location. We're actually going to be covering some stuff a little earlier than E3, so I think some of that stuff is going to be timed to release at E3. We're doing some on-location reporting on some of that kind of material. And we're also going to be in the studio streaming, and I believe we're going to be working with Baruti. I still have to confirm with him, but we had a great time last year, so I think we're probably going to do that again this year. Oh, there's our third guy.
Last year we flew down. We were in the air during Nintendo's press conference.
That's right. Yeah.
That might have been a mistake because they had, I think, the best one.
They did have a great one, yeah.
Might have to do that again this year just because their press conferences are always late. They do their E3 press conferences during actual E3.
Well, they do it on Tuesday day.
Yeah, which is technically the first day of E3, whereas Microsoft and Sony do it before.
So I've got my slicer going in there, so it's hacking basically. Okay, so it takes a second to hack. I get it. Okay.
Julia Barden says, I have all the Star Wars movies. I have all three of them too. I have all three Star Wars movies. All three of them.
I wonder if are people watching the movies today or playing Star Wars games, doing anything to celebrate?
Yeah, Hops Goblin said earlier, what Star Wars film are you all going to watch today? I guess because it's Star Wars Day, you have to watch a Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch Star Wars.
You gonna watch Star Wars today?
Yeah, the one movie called Star Wars and its two sequels.
1977.
The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's not hard to pick one when there's only three.
You really should check out Rogue One. Incredible movie. And Force Awakens was a blast.
Rogue One looks really good. I really like the look of Rogue One. There's some nice shots in that movie. Except for the cartoon characters. So
glowing orange things are explosions.
I have a good question from Darkstorm CH007.
Okay.
What do you think about the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I've never watched that. I've only watched that in pieces. I tried to watch it because somebody put it up on Facebook, and
it's probably me that did that.
I tried to watch it, and it's punishing, man.
I've sat down and watched it 3 or 4 times. I've watched it once by myself, and then I've made people watch it. Like, I made my sister and her husband watch it at Christmas 2015 before we went and saw The Force Awakens.
It is the Room of holiday specials.
And I was thinking, because we did that Room video where you sat down and watched The Room for the first time, I was thinking we should maybe do that for the Star Wars Holiday Special.
And we just call these, like, Victor Lucas torture chamber?
Yes.
Torture view?
It's me being sadomasochistic and forcing other people to watch it. It's delightfully awful. If you've never sat down and watched it, it is kind of hard.
B. Arthur in that damn thing?
B. Arthur is in it.
Yes.
And so is Harvey Korman.
Oh my god.
And what's the other guy? Forget the other guy's name. There's some other old that era comedian in it. Bruce Vilanch wrote it. It's awful. I think my favorite part of the Star Wars Holiday Special is Harrison Ford just phoning it in.
Yeah.
Really, really badly. More than he phones in all his other performances in recent films.
What are your guys' thoughts on Solo now? Are you excited that it's starting to look a little bit better, or do you still have a lot of skepticism? And did you buy your tickets already?
Honestly, I'm thinking it looks better than I was afraid of. But we'll have to wait and see till the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a super chat from Blade Blur. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Blade Blur. You rock, my friend.
A lot of people commenting about the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the dark. This is one of the cool things.
Sorry, I have a question.
I'm in low light.
Top Shelf Gaming is asking, did you play this online back in the day when it first came out?
I'm sure I did, yeah. I can't oh, that's one of my guys. I can't remember tons about it. I've played a bajillion games since this came out, so it's kind of, that's the beauty of going back, man. That's why it's so important for these backwards compatibility titles.
Can you play this online? On the Xbox One? Like, are the servers
I don't think so. I don't think they're doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
You can system link, though, and there's a split screen mode in this as well. But I wanted to do the whole full screen on it.
That'd be cool if they redid, like, the original Battlefront on the Xbox and brought back the servers.
Yeah, you can still play Battlefront 2 on Steam online.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
How many loot boxes?
No loot boxes.
You mean the real Battlefront 2? The original.
Battlefront 2 is a real game, and it's been greatly improved since all the feedback
It's the Phantom Menace of Battlefront games.
Blow up that wall! Oh, I gotta aim at it and then blow it up. Okay. Now we can go this way. Alright.
Few people, I'm seeing mixed. Cool. I'm seeing a mixed response from your question about Solo.
About Solo, yeah. People haven't been going nuts about the fact because they just unlocked the tickets yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw on Twitter that some people have got their tickets, but it's not like. There's definitely some hesitation right now. I think the Last honestly, Jedi burned a lot of people.
Yeah, there's that, but the thing is, all the behind-the-scenes drama of Solo, like 9 out of 10 people haven't even heard of that. You know, we hear it because this is what we do.
Oh yeah, we're reporting on it.
Yeah, the average person, like my mom, doesn't know the behind-the-scenes drama. Like they're just gonna see, oh, a new Star Wars movie.
But I also feel like the average person that went to see The Last Jedi has some.
That's
some
the biggest
qualms,
hindrance.
Right?
That's the biggest hindrance to the movie is that, not the behind-the-scenes stuff. Jordan Cunningham is asking if you're going to play the classic Battlefront 1 and 2 on the Xbox One. Because are they backwards compatible?
Yes, they are.
Because they have single player, right?
Yeah, they do. Especially 2. I probably will. I want to check them out for sure. I did check out Battlefront 2 last year on the PC, and was very impressed and surprised at how well it holds up. Pandemic was an incredible company. I am begging Microsoft, if you are watching this, because we're giving you a lot of love for your backwards compatibility. We love that you're doing this. Please bring Saboteur. Work with Electronic Arts and bring the Saboteur to the Xbox One.
That was a good game.
That was such a good game. And EA, wake up and make a sequel to that great game.
And that was the last one Pandemic did, right?
I think so. They really screwed themselves with how ambitious they got. They were making. Remember, they made the Lord of the Rings open world Battlefront-like game, and they made Battlefront 2, and they made. I think they'd moved on from Full Spectrum Warrior, but they'd made the Mercenaries 2 game. They had all of these, and Saboteur, and they had all of these open world games which had different engines, all being developed at the exact same time, and so they had a lot of. People.
So they had multiple engines going.
Multiple engines, multiple teams, incredibly expensive, and then of course they sold to EA, and then EA is a pretty, say what you will about them, but they know, how to sort of figure out how to spend their money on their game developers.
Yeah.
Because they're a very fiscally minded business, and so I think Pandemic just looked, very expensive to them.
Yeah. That's
but they were so talented. So talented.
I had a good...
what am I doing? Shoot strategy room glass. Oh, just shoot this, okay.
I have a good question here from Sydney K.
Okay.
Asking, which Star Wars games are better? The games based on the original trilogy or the games based on the prequels? Because obviously the original trilogy movies are better, but what about the games?
I think you have to throw in the Rogue Squadron games and the X-Wing games.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, those are a part of it.
Even though they came so far after, yeah, they're based on the original trilogy.
I think the original trilogy stuff, I think it always hurts the brand if original trilogy isn't included in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you're wondering where it is. You know, this is one of the best examples of, and I would argue that Battlefront 2 on the current gen Battlefront 2 is one of the best examples of doing the prequel stuff right. Because say what you will about the prequels, they gave you lots of cool production design to work with, you know, lots of, you know, cool environments and cool enemies. Battle droids were always lame because they felt like comic relief, but they're also a very safe video game enemy, you know, battle droids. We love shooting at robots.
Blade Blur just discovered our Vic emote.
Our what?
The emote.
Yes.
We have an emote for subscribers.
Do we have a second? Oh yeah, we have a Vic emote. Yes, I did one, but I still need to make more of those.
Can you not get rid of the white around it?
I thought I did, but I'm not very good at building emotes. Someone needs to point me to a YouTube video for how to make good emotes, so I will learn how to do that properly. I had fun doing that.
Thorazine666 says, I hope everyone is having a great day.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Star Wars Day.
The Star Wars Day leading into the weekend. Not too bad, right? Okay. So now I think I've got my full team. Yes, I do. No, I only have three of my... Oh, I do. I have all four. So I have Fixer, Scorch, and Sev. Okay, one of you guys go and snipe.
Hobgoblin asks, do you think a big budget affects a movie in a negative light nowadays? Like if they use a smaller budget, does that force them to be more creative? I think is what he's asking.
No, not necessarily. You know, I think I just look at them as tools, and big budget effects movies can still be a lot of fun even if the idea is ridiculous. Like there was still enjoyment to be had in the Rampage movie, which is a terrible example, but yeah, no, I'm not offended by the lack of use of practical effects or the reliance to.
I don't know if he's talking just about special effects. I think he just means big budget in general. I think.
You know what? I think it's got more to do with how authentic the effects work within the confines of the story. You know, like cheesy effects in where they should be. And I'll give you an example. Mute by Duncan Jones. Interesting flick. It's one of those Netflix sort of swing and miss type movies. Interesting flick, but it's hampered a little bit by its lack of budget to create really compelling, world bits around the story. And it sort of suffered from the fact that it didn't have the budget that was in Altered Carbon, which was pretty good in terms of effects, but it was also compared to Blade Runner 2049, which is, I think, state of the art. I think that's one of the best sort of uses of practical and in-camera and digital effects that we've seen recently. So it's not really about the intelligence of telling a story without effects. It's the use of those effects and us not missing them. But if you look at the flick that I just reviewed there, that Anon movie, it was pretty simplistic in its effects. It's very analogous to the stuff that we're seeing in the Black Mirror TV show, which I think that does a pretty good job with a limited budget to create compelling worlds. But even though it was kind of limited, it didn't take me out of the story. It was cool.
The AI on your companions is great.
Yeah.
The way they're like huddling around the door and ran in like that.
Yeah, no.
That's like better than most modern games.
It's really cool. And we don't see enough of this, like I think Rainbow Six Siege gives you that when you play with other people. It'll feel like that as long as you're all playing things properly. But I used to...
It's not like when I play Rainbow Six and I just run around with a shotgun.
Yeah, I'm totally that guy too. I just run ahead with my flamethrower and try to burn everybody.
Just try to shoot everything. Like, just be Rambo about it.
But I remember loving the Rainbow Six games on the original Xbox. I had so much fun with those games.
I'm getting a Halo vibe from this.
Yeah, totally. You'd never seen this before, have you?
I I was not into it when it first came out, just
Yeah.
because I was done with the prequels.
Right.
But yeah, no, it looks good.
Yeah,
I never
it's
played
cool.
it, right? But I mean, I was aware of this game.
What I love about it, same with the Force Unleashed, is it was internal and it was ambitious and it was made with love for the lore and a real pride, you know, from the game developers to be contributing to Star Wars, which was, you know, that was the prerequisite for anybody working at LucasArts, was they just had to be in love with the brand and had a real desire to want to contribute to it, and this was their opportunity to do that, you know? Same with the first Force Unleashed was so good.
I have a good question here from Patrick Furtado.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Star Wars character?
Ooh, Han Solo. That's kind of a boring answer, but he's just the most badass. I just love him. When I was a kid, my very first favorite Star Wars character was R2-D2.
That's mine.
And I was just talking to Blake before we rolled today that how sad it's become to see that R2-D2 has basically become a projector that's been put into a garage with a
That's all he's
cloth,
done
yeah.
in both of the movies, the new movies.
Cloth draped over
He
it.
just projects a thing, and that's his
That's
whole
all
function.
he is.
Yeah.
He's like an old projector, you know. Like you don't have enough money to buy a new lamp for, so you just put it in the garage, which is terrible. I mean, he basically started his feistiness and his independence, you know, to lead C-3PO off of Princess Leia's ship with the message for Obi-Wan. Basically, started the first trilogy and got us going into the Skywalker redemption story.
He's the POV character for the first movie.
Yeah,
right?
and now he's just a projector in a garage, pretty much.
And the cool thing about R2 is because he doesn't really talk, you can project a lot of yourself onto him.
Yeah.
They should make a video game where he plays R2. He'd be a perfect video game
Well,
character.
he's been in games, but not...
No, you play as R2.
Yeah, I mean, when they retconned all of the new abilities in the prequel trilogy, it was very weird. Like, suddenly he's got rocket boosters and, you know, like, why didn't he use those on Dagobah? You know, there was just a lot of...
He was out of fuel.
Okay. It was just a lot of weird things that they did with R2, and I don't know.
I
love
just defended one of the prequels.
Yeah, I know you did.
Oh my god.
I love BB-8. Don't get me wrong. Great creation, but it does feel like a lot of what BB-8 does, R2 could have done. And so maybe the answer was not to make a new R2, but to make a new K2SO kind of thing, you know, for the new trilogy. Because K2SO was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, Blade Blur is saying a game with R2-D2, it would be like playing as Clank in the Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a good idea. They could do it.
We sure need more first and third person story-driven experiences in Star Wars, you know?
Could be a good VR game too to play as R2.
Hopefully that's what the Respawn guys are working on right now. It's just something that blows our minds like this and the original Force Unleashed.
Well, we know it's going to have lightsaber combat.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we know about the game so far.
I would also love a new Rogue Squadron or new X-Wing games, you know? Like, I can't believe that there isn't a multiplayer-focused X-Wing game online right now, or a multiplayer-focused VR X-Wing experience right now. It'd be so kick-ass. Okay, we're disabling this jamming device. Okay. Also, we're jamming that device over there is going to take off the shield, and then we're going to go over there and blow it up.
Graham Coombe is asking,
so great.
What is your favorite prequel movie and why?
I love the third one, actually. I thought the third one was a lot of fun. I have good memories about seeing that movie, because LucasArts, before an E3, took a bunch of us journalists and a lot of the LucasArts team to see it at the ArcLight cinemas in Hollywood. And so, pristine picture, pristine sound. And Lucas, I think, was...
Do you notice how your first bit of praise was that it looked good and sounded good?
Well, it did, and I like where the drama got to, you know, and it was a spectacle, but it had way more intelligence and heart than the first two movies did, and it connected the storylines in a pretty clever way. You know, I still think it's a solid movie.
Do you know what mine is? It might surprise you.
Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace, and the only reason is because it's the only one that was shot on film.
Yeah.
I like the way the not the CGI stuff, but the live action stuff in the Phantom Menace. I like the way it looks, and I like the way it's lit. And that's my only bit of praise for the movie, and that's the only reason I hate it
I didn't
less
hate
than the other ones.
It when Scott and I re-reviewed all the movies before Force Awakens came out. Didn't hate it, and I was surprised that I didn't. But
It's a bad
Star
movie,
Wars
Vic.
2 is abysmal. That is an unwatchable monstrosity. That is just a terrible, terrible movie.
You know, I didn't hate them the first two anyway when they came out because I was like 12 and 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually liked the Attack of the Clones when it first came out, but you know, in recent years, once I became an adult and I started to rewatch them, I was like, yeah, these are not good.
So bad. Okay, so we're going to lower level. But I actually like 3. I like the lightsaber duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan became the coolest character in that trilogy. I love Ewan McGregor. I'm a huge fan of his. So I think he did a great job. And they had not very much Jar Jar in the third movie.
Do you know that?
Yoda was pretty kick-ass.
Do you want me to say something controversial?
Yeah.
Jar Jar is the only character in any of the prequels. He's the only character that has a personality, and he's terrible, but compared to everyone else in those movies who's just a monotonous robot, Jar Jar Binks is the closest thing to like an actual character.
Oh no.
At least new character that any of those prequels has.
Maintain current. Will they come and heal me? Come and heal me. Heal me. They completely, they trapped us. They got us.
You got killed by the episode 2 bugs?
They were waiting for us. The episode 2 bugs.
The bugs who built the Death Star until they didn't, until it got built by Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? They must have had a comic or something where they explain it, right? Because these bugs make the Death Star.
In the second movie.
Yeah, you see them with the Death Star plans.
With the plans, right?
And then so how did
they were
Mendelsohn
all just
do?
indentured slaves to the Empire. They were everybody.
No, but it was their plans for the
yeah,
for
but
the thing.
They were not leaders. They were just
no, but the leader of the
bugs.
bugs.
Yes.
But the leader of the bugs says these like it's their.
Here are the plans.
Yeah, he's like, here are the plans for the ultimate weapon, and then you see Palpatine with them in episode 3.
Yeah.
So where does Hannibal and Ben Mendelsohn come in? Did they must have taken it over?
Okay, I don't know. Yes.
But it's like
maybe they had them built, and then these guys were doing the first real testing.
It's so stupid, because Hannibal.
It took many years to build it, right?
But Hannibal says he's the one who put in the design flaw. So he added that to their design. So what was their design? Just a sphere? And then they had to add everything else? Like, what kind of design is that?
Right. So
what I'm saying is that
you're going into your criticism.
What I'm saying is
Rogue One
episode
right
2 is dumb.
Okay. To have these bugs create the ultimate weapon?
There's no reason for them to have the Death Star plans in the movie.
Well, maybe they designed it. Maybe these were the designers, but they didn't build it. And
yeah, but Hannibal designed it.
It had to be.
But in Rogue One, they say Hannibal designed it.
Maybe it had to be interpreted by him.
Okay.
I'm sure there's lore that explains this.
Yeah,
So
there has to be a
killed
comic
everybody.
or something. So
I remember this being a choke point playing this originally. This was tough.
Vent shafts leading to the factory are located on the opposite side of the spire.
Okay.
Figures. My readings are unable to find a way across the spire.
what do you think of the Star Wars fighting game on the PS1?
Oh, Masters of
Terakashi?
Terraskasai?
Of Teriyaki?
Tiramisu, as Tommy used to say.
Masters of
It was
Teriyaki?
pretty bad. Pretty crazy. I actually liked, speaking of Episode 3, I liked the Episode 3 game that you talked about.
Oh yeah, we had it
this
in
day,
the
very
this day,
recently.
yeah.
Well, it might be coming up.
Or it might be,
Yeah.
it hasn't aired yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, it aired today
Oh,
in
it's
this
today.
episode. Yeah.
Okay.
We cut these things in advance, so we never remember which one is which.
That was a cool game.
Oh,
Uh,
telephone.
somebody's getting a phone call here.
Should I hit decline on
What time is
the
it?
iPad?
2:46. Okay, we're gonna call the stream in about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get past this choke point here.
Should I hit decline there?
Decline. Yeah, there you go.
It's so weird when you get a phone call and it goes to your iPad. It always trips me up now. Yes. It happens to me. Like I'll be sitting at home and I'll get a phone call and it'll pop up on my computer. Like, what the hell? Didn't Lego Star Wars 1 come out at the same time as the Episode 3 game? Wasn't it a year later?
Shit, probably. Oh my god. They're all dead. Come on, help me. Help me. My health is critical. Get over to the health.
Okay, here we have an important bit of information here from Wizard of Loneliness.
Okay.
In the comics, the Hannibal character obtained... I like how everyone's calling him Hannibal now, just because I called him that. The Hannibal character obtains the plans after race... Oh, he's making up a joke. Okay. I thought he was going to actually give us the answer.
Come on, get these guys. Oh, my aiming was terrible. Did I lose my dudes? Yep, my squad's unavailable.
I thought Wizard of Loneliness was going to give us the actual important reason... But he's just making a joke. So.
Right.
So you got me.
Here, you play for a second.
You want me to play? Oh, shit. The controllers are inverted. What do I do?
Shoot.
Hang on. Hang on, I gotta... Okay. Okay. I don't have my glasses on, Vic. Is there team kill? Oh, shit. What am I doing? I don't know the controls.
I got you.
All I did was invert the controls, so I didn't even do anything. You gotta invert it back.
Oh no, you went...
That's all I did, basically, and it ran down a hallway for 5 seconds. That's in game options, yeah.
Yes, accept. Alright, there we go. Let's see if we can get past this checkpoint.
Look out! Flank the new target. Find cover.
Oh. I keep pressing the left trigger to aim down the sights, but you don't do that in this game. Oh, this guy's tough, that's what it is.
A lot of people in the chat are defending Episode 3 and the other prequels by saying things like, oh, the action was good, the lightsaber combat was good, the music was good.
Yeah.
But that's the most superficial thing.
Yes.
That's not what makes Star Wars good.
I liked
those are the same
66.
things.
I liked, you know, the
what
going
matters,
to Kashyyyk and
what matters is the story, the characters,
the story in
tone,
3 was pretty solid.
The adventure.
And performances.
The lightsaber battles and the music are the superficial parts that aren't important. They're important after you get the important stuff right.
Yeah.
And the prequels do not get the important stuff right.
But you actually do care about, all my guys are dead. You did a terrible job at telling them how to stay alive. Oh, my health is critical.
Did I kill you guys? I didn't kill you.
No, I did. Ugh.
You're bad squad
This is
leader.
hard. This is damn hard. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. And then I gotta go.
They must have screwed up the cloning machines when they made
this is the last time, and we're trying to get past this super quick.
Figures. My readings are unable to find a way across the spire to the factory.
When are you gonna make E3 predictions?
Actually shooting some stuff on Monday with Johnny, so stay tuned for that. Johnny Millennium from Happy Console Gamer.
Let's make one right now. Give the people something special. You said one to me a few days ago.
We are gonna see the PlayStation 5, but it's not coming out until next year. We're gonna see something about what the next level of gaming is from Sony.
I think next year we will.
Next year we will get the price and the release date.
You also predicted Halo 6?
Halo 6.
Didn't you say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also think that Xbox might be, that's it, dead again. I'm at the choke point, that's tough. Yeah, we will have lots of cool E3 predictions. I'm super excited to see all the software and everything that they've got in store for us out there. But that does it for us today. Have yourselves an incredible weekend.
Okay, bye everyone.
We've got lots of great stuff coming up for you next week, and on the weekend we'll have another classic episode of Electric Playground. Lots for you to enjoy and watch from you know, what we've been posting recently. So if you do and you like it, hit subscribe, that little bell. If you're so inclined, don't forget we've got a sponsorship button too. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.